Hey guys, this is Ryan Garcia, and you're watching 3-Point Conversion. Let's go.
What's been key for you, and after all the questions we had to you after the first game, changing it in these last two and having more success on the floor?
Just getting downhill, being aggressive, being who I am.
Was that a team concept that changed anything for you, or was it just you in your own head having to change the way you were playing?
Both.
Let's just take us through the play with Drew, the three-pointer. I mean, just obviously you got the ball up top, you get a blitz, clock's running down. Just what are you thinking through that whole sequence? I
saw me and Hartenstein one-on-one in top, so I just thought, get to my shot. But I heard Tibbs yelling to double, and I probably held the ball a little too long. I should have, been more aggressive to attack the blitz. But I put Drew in kind of a bad situation, and he just made an unbelievable shot, big shot. Was really just really stepped up to the moment when we needed him the most, and really good to see.
Just as a group, you guys were operating on a pretty high wire there for that entire fourth quarter. Tough, close the entire time. Just what's to say about this group, the way they were able to just battle it out? What did you like about what you guys were able to do in that stretch?
Man, just digging in, understanding our backs are against the wall. We're here at home. Obviously, they handled business. We get both at home, and everybody knows what it looks like when you go down 3-0. So, we had to come out, play desperate, play hard, and the third quarter. It got us again. We've really been poor in these third quarters all series. So, we just didn't let that deter us and responded the right way in the fourth, which was big from everybody.
Tyrese, I see you limping along here. What is it? Your foot, your ankle, another body part?
It was my ankle. I rolled my ankle on that steal with the layup in the fourth, and I landed on my tailbone there on that and one. So just overall body right now. I'm hurting, but they got guys hurting too, so we got to understand that everybody's hurting right now, so thank God we got a day in between, and I'm young, and, I'll heal up and be ready to go on Sunday.
Well, what have you learned about the playoffs through this stretch and about yourself through this period of time? I
would just say more than anything, it's about just getting to the next play, and that's, responding to something good or something bad, honestly. I think, down there in stretch, I turned the ball over. I had to get to the next play to get back and, try to slow down Josh so Miles could get that block. Just figuring out what you can do to, get to the next play because every possession matters and you're just trying to win one possession at a time. So I feel like it's just more heightened in the playoffs, you pay more attention to it. And there's already been certain plays in the playoffs that run in my head on repeat that I just consistently think about, where it doesn't really work like that in the regular season. You just kind of move on, but so that's a little different in the playoffs.
Before the game, Coach Carlisle talked a lot about the Knicks' toughness and how tough they are. It made me wonder if he challenged you guys a little bit more before this game than usual, just to match their toughness.
For sure. I think that's been the emphasis really all series for us, we've talked about that all series. How can we, match that energy, because we're going to have to if we want a chance to win. And honestly, we really didn't do that in the first two games. I feel like we did in the first half for two games, and then the second half of both games we got outworked. And so we just had to figure out how we were going to respond. I thought Miles was great at setting the tone. I thought AA was amazing on Brunson. Obviously, he's a tough cover for anybody, but just, we're trying to give him as many different looks as we can, show him different bodies. I thought those guys set the tone for us to, defensively. And, still they got, 10 offensive rebounds. But we out-rebounded them tonight, and I doubt that's happened to them all playoffs, really. So, I think that's where it starts. But, just get to the next possession, get to the next play, because they got a lot of guys who just play really hard.
Seeing how Brunson has been playing in the playoffs, and especially early in this series, does that fire your competitive juices up, knowing that this is, your all-star versus all-star type situation? I
don't think it's as much about me versus him as much as it is our teams versus each other. It's not about that. It's just doing what you have to do to win. He's doing what he has to do for his team to win games, and I got to do that as well to give my team the best chance to win. So it's less about the one-on-one matchup and who's scoring or who's doing what. That's for y'all to talk about. We're just trying to win games.
Ty, you guys have been great at home throughout the playoffs. Can you kind of just speak to the atmosphere throughout these playoffs at home and what that's meant to you guys as a team?
Yeah, it's been unbelievable in here. It's been unbelievable. The energy. I think that our fans have just been itching for playoff basketball again, just like us, And so I think that's the excitement in our city, and that's why everybody's so excited. And obviously, there's just a lot of energy around basketball in Indiana right now, especially with the Fever and us. So it's really cool to see the energy in the building, every game. And they really willed us to a win tonight, to be honest. So we're just gonna keep riding that train, and hopefully they keep coming, supporting us, and we just keep performing the way we're able to.
You guys have talked a lot, as long as he's been here, about the toughness that Drew has, basically, and his ability to kind of move on from stuff. I guess just how much does what he did there speak to that? The fact that he had some open shots that he missed. He's obviously been bounced around on defense. There's, he's dealt with some tough assignments to step up in that position and hit that shot. How much does that kind of add to what you already had to say about him?
Yeah, just digging in. I think as a group, we understand that how deep we are as a team. It's going to be somebody else's night, really, every night, and just understanding that it's not about who scores this many points, who does what. We just got a lot of unselfish dudes that are prepared for the moment, whenever that is, And I think that was just that was the biggest thing. Is obviously, yeah, he missed a couple shots, but he was ready when his time was called. I'm just excited for him because after the Bucks game, was that game 3? He was like, my main playoff moment is going to be offensive rebounds. So I'm glad that's this is probably his biggest moment now. So I'm excited for him.
Tyrese, what's different about your mental approach in the playoffs compared to the regular season?
I wouldn't say anything. I would say just like the amount of attention to detail with like film study. Like in the regular season, it's a little different. I'm watching film after every game, but it's not as deep dive as it is right now. Seeing the defensive adjustments and all that stuff. Like every day, I'm watching film with Drew every day, watching film with IY and Rick, and just everybody just diving in, really just picking the game apart as much as I can to see where I can get better. Just the attention to detail, I think, is the biggest thing with the approach. And honestly, I got 26 shots, by most shots I've shot in a very long time, maybe ever. But I think just whatever's needed to win games, and that's kind of how I'm approaching these games right now, especially after a rough game 1. Just how can I impact the game? And some games it's going to be scoring, some games it's going to be facilitating, some games it's going to be both. But whatever I got to do to win is what I want to do.
So you mentioned Miles' block. How big of a moment was that just down the final stretch there? It led to Andrew's first bucket and then eventually his 3. Did you feel like that was kind of a momentum shifter?
Oh, for sure. I think there are certain plays that happen over the course of, a series that and a course of a game that can really change things. I think that's what they do so well is those offensive rebound kickouts are really like momentum changing, like especially when you're in the Garden, like an offensive rebound kickout 3 is like a windmill dunk. When you play the Knicks, So I think there's certain plays that can sway momentum, and I think that, big blocks like that, obviously, like, transition 3s or just moments that, lead to timeouts or just things like that are definitely things that are going to stick out. And I think that we're going to remember that play because I feel like that changed the game. Was a game-changing moment. And I think it just speaks to, how hard he played and the tone he set today.
Playoffs, every game is big, but home crowd, Eastern Conference semifinals, getting this win finally against the Knicks. How big was this win tonight?
Yeah, I mean, huge. Like, listen, we know what it looks like when teams go down 3-0, so we really needed this win. Now we understand they're going to come out with, a big punch on Sunday, and we got to be able to, weather the storm and be ready to go. And I just think it's huge for us, but we understand we got to get another one. We got to take care of home floor as much as we can, because like they say, playoff series don't start till a road team wins. So, we got to be ready to go on Sunday. Everybody's banged up, everybody's hurting, everybody's going to be amped for that game. So it's Mother's Day. All our moms are going to be there. Everybody's going to be ready to go. I'm excited.